What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on these analysis. We're going to be looking at SMCI today. We're kind of in the same region as we previously were, kind of just stuck in this area. Remember, the more price compresses, the more likely you can get an explosive move to the upside or to the downside. So the more it compresses, the more aggressive the move can be. Ideally, we want to see a move like this, but we have to keep in mind that this is also still on the table as well, pushing down like that. So we are getting pinched right now, especially when you look at the SMAs. You have the 50-week SMA, super powerful, moving average right above your head, and you do have a strong 20-week SMA underneath you. Like I said, being absolutely compressed, hopefully to the upside. And when you take a look here on the daily, we are looking more bullish because we have the 200, the 20, and the 50 underneath price, and the 200 is right underneath price. So hopefully that's enough momentum to break through the 50-week, close above that 50-week, and get that continued move to the upside. On the weekly RSI, still looking good, holding above the yellow moving average, holding above the 50, the middle point right here, creating higher highs and higher lows, looking good. Hopefully we can make it to the 70 region. Here we did fall underneath the yellow moving average, and we're trying to make our way back above it, but it's still bullish in nature, higher highs, higher lows. As you can see, there's two different trend lines that we have established here. We have the first one, and we have a second one that's starting to form here. We're starting to get that secondary angle, a more steep move to the upside, which is showing that strength is starting to build up, and we could potentially make it to that 70 region and eventually break these moves right here. So let's see if we can break these highs and break into that green zone like we can see here. That's when you get those nice aggressive moves to the upside. Overall, looking pretty bullish though. It's still compressing, but I think it's looking bullish overall. On the weekly RSI, we're on the weekly MACD, higher highs, higher lows. We're starting to see volume kick back up a little bit. Volume is not completely there, but on the weekly perspective, it's there. On the daily, we're kind of a little bit lacking, but that's okay. But we're looking good though. You're starting to see this kick back up, showing momentum to the upside. Hopefully we can get a nice sustainable move, a nice angle upward like that. That'd be the ideal scenario, of course, for the MACD on the weekly, showing a sustainable move to the upside. Here you have higher highs, higher lows. And like I said, we have the dwindling down here on the daily. So you can see it's a steep fall off. I mean, very, very steep fall off to the downside. Looking like it wants to flip bearish, but that doesn't mean that it's going to flip bearish. We can still get a ramp up of green to the upside. Kind of like we saw here. We saw this dwindle down and then a ramp back up. So with a compression, it kind of makes sense that we're dwindling down, and then eventually we're either going to get a massive red move or a massive green move in momentum. Hopefully a green move to the upside and we break out of this downward sloping trend line. But yeah, even when you look at the price action, you can kind of see, look how there's just no momentum to bearish side or the bullish side. There's just no trading volume right now. But if you're familiar with SMCI, it's like that until it's not. You can kind of see here, there's just nothing going on. It's kind of sideways, not much momentum in either direction. And then next thing you know, you just ran up from this low to this high 160% within 2 weeks. So it's pretty crazy once it gets going. So I do expect something like that to happen, hopefully to the upside, like I said, but we don't know what direction it's going to go in. But with this compression, with the SMAs above and below, you have this key level below you. I do think it's more bullish. I think there's a bias to the bullish side, but we're still in the compression zone, so we don't really know what exactly is going to happen. I do think once we break out of this downward sloping trend line, this thing can really ramp up quickly until it runs into this next key level of resistance up here and this horizontal level of resistance right here. But those are going to be the key levels that you're going to be looking at. You're going to be looking at this zone here for resistance as you're making your way up, and then you're going to be looking at that trend line as your next level. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys here on SMCI. A quick little video. Like and subscribe, share with a friend. I'll see you guys in the next one.